Welcome back to WD Magicast for the week of March 30th, 2025. We're back, everybody, and with me today is not Dave. It is the one, the only Sir Isaac has made his return now to the new and improved WD Magicast. Isaac, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back on WD Magicast, man. It's been a while though, but I'm excited.
It's been too long. It's been too long. And also, make sure you check out our social medias on pretty much everywhere at WD Magicast. And subscribe and like to this video so this way you always know when new videos are posted. So, Isaac, we got a few things to discuss here. Jumping right into it as it is. And we have some villains and some mermaids joining us at the Hollywood Studios in Florida.
Yeah, no, definitely, which is kind of big right now. A big showcase for a lot of them, honestly, which is, I think it's pretty cool. So apparently from what I was reading about, they're actually going to be bringing a new showcase for the mermaids side, right? And I think it's going to be, unfortunately, replacing the Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, which usually was there for that, or the other way
villains
around.
is going
The villains will be the right for the Raceways Academy too. So,
yes.
That's going to be pretty cool for that interesting lineup. And then I know that for the villains, which is going to be a very interesting show hosted by Hades from Hercules. I think they're going to bring back all our classic,
a lot of the
classic Disney villains, and it's going to be an interesting show where they have the opportunity to rewrite their history from all those, from all the things that have been wrong with, and it's supposed to launch during the summer of 2025. So, I mean, you're the park guy, you're more the big expert. What's your thought about that happening down there?
Well, it's actually starting this May 27th.
Okay.
And really what a lot of us feel is that is the test grounds for the new Villains Land that they are playing for the Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is that we're going to put a whole bunch of villains into one show and see how different ones are received and kind of being able to gauge it from there and take a pulse of, is this something that people want? How do people react to it? Does it move merchandise? Does it maintain popularity? Initially there's going to be the initial buzz. A lot of people are going to flock to it at first, but does it hold?
Yeah,
that's going to be kind of the key things. But it seems like it should be cool. They put a giant magic mirror. Somehow it's supposed to be somewhat interactive. I don't know how or even if that's going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good thing. I think it should be fun. That black box was always meant to be a temporary thing. So yeah, the Lightning McQueen was there, but it was a temporary show, and this is an example of why they have that structure. Time to put in something new.
Gotcha.
Same date and time. The Mermaid Show is relaunching, rebranding itself. As it were, there was a Little Mermaid show that was again supposed to be temporary in the studios in the animation courtyard. That was supposed to be there for a short period of time, and it had been there for years and years. Fortunately, when the pandemic closed down, there was a lot of water effects in the show.
Okay.
And that had gone left untouched for months and months, and then required years of cleaning. So they basically they re-scripted the show, updated it because it had been the same show for decades.
Gotcha.
Yep. So we're just getting a revamped Little Mermaid show. It's gonna be fun for the kids. It's indoors. You're sitting down. Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, no, sounds like a great time for people that really enjoy the Little Mermaid, as well as people that really love to visit their more antagonistic side in terms of the villains and stuff like that.
Yeah, the villains I think is going to be cool.
Yeah,
it's a different side of things.
Yeah, different side to explore at the Disney parks.
Yeah. After that, we have Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is going down for some time. It will be closing August of this year, 2025, and will be reopening in some point 2026. They're adding in a new show scene with a new character. I forgot the character's name.
That character's name is Buddy.
Buddy.
New character. Yep.
Go home, buddy. Wrong buddy.
Yeah.
And they are updating the blasters, so they're not going to be fixed to the vehicle anymore. They're going to have a wire, so you have a little more free range of motion. They're going to be different color blasters, so you will be able to know which one is yours. There's also going to be haptics in it, so whenever you zap a target, you will feel it, but also the targets will react and light up. They're changing up out the targets as well.
Mhm.
So a lot of necessary upgrades. They're not really changing the ride. They're just improving it and plussing it, which it's honestly needed.
Mhm.
But it's still going to be the same fun Buzz Lightyear. I think it's going to be even more enjoyable now because they're finally tweaking some of the stuff that needs to be.
No, I think that's really cool. No, I think it's nice to know that it's not a ride that's being taken away just to be replaced with something else. And
No,
like you said, it's just going to get it's just going to get a facelift and
yeah,
a better quality life facelift, which is not bad.
absolutely, and a needed one. I mean, like I said, they're not really messing with the story. They're not messing with the ride vehicles. They're not trying to make it this other crazy thing that it's not.
Mhm.
It's still going to be the same ride, just newer.
No, I
The new
agree.
generation of the same ride.
Not bad, not bad at all.
Yeah,
Like it, like it.
I like when they do stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of new fun things, there is a promotion going on at Disney parks right now for 4 day, 4 night free dining. Free dining if you get a 4 day, 4 night stay with tickets, leave park hopper tickets. Um, so if you are going this summer, definitely want to look into that. Contact our friends over at MEI Mouse Fan Travel, Jackie or whoever you want to talk to over there, and they will help you with the details on that. And glad to give you a free quote and help you book it if you so choose.
Not bad, not bad.
No, that's free food is always a good thing.
Oh, of course, yes. I will never turn down free food, man. Give me a
No.
buffet line, I'll take it. So,
Oh yeah, me too. Line it up and I'll be there.
there you go. Nice.
Um, Also, H2O Glow Nights is returning to Typhoon Lagoon this year. It will be on select nights from May 23rd through September 13th. It's a hard ticket event, so it is a separate ticket. Tickets go on sale in early April. It is always very popular, and from what I hear, a lot of fun. They got DJs and all sorts of lights, and it's just like a giant party at a water park. I mean, you can't really go wrong there.
Now, is these like after hour, like an
Yes,
after hour event? So this is
yes.
more like adult themed, or this is still
It's still
family.
family.
It's still
It's still
family
family.
friendly. Okay.
It's Strangely enough, it's based around one of the Toy Story shorts, Partysaurus Rex.
Hmm.
So kind of loosely based on that. Um, but it is it's just a yeah, glow party. So lots of lights, and just like I said, DJs and just a lot of fun. It's a reduced capacity, so there's not as many people there
Hmm.
as there would be during the day. It's at night, so it's going to be a little cooler. You're not having to deal with the sun. Um, and it's yeah, and like I said, DJs and like a very party atmosphere.
It would be nice, and maybe they do. Maybe they have it in other parks though, but it would be nice to kind of have more of a adult, more themed Disney event that it's still not I'm not saying I'll go crazy, but it would be cool
Yeah,
to have a more mature event in the Disney Club. And I think honestly, and maybe they do on other parks, but I really do think that's something maybe Disney needs to explore, just like an all adult event in the parks. And I'm not somewhere like an Epcot or like where I feel like Epcot would have more of those adult events. Something
yeah,
within the park that I think honestly I think there would be a money making opportunity there just to have just the adults and not the kids around in the parks like that too. Again, they
yeah.
might have something like that, but I always thought that would be an interesting idea just to have an adult theme event. but
Well,
Disney oriented.
that was the basis of Pleasure Island and everything that went on at Pleasure Island. Um, and
Okay.
that eventually died out, and that's why it got replaced by the whole area got changed to Disney Springs. But
Oh, okay. That was
um,
the
but yeah,
intent.
Disney Springs is more mature. As in, it's a shopping district, but it's also you got a lot of high class restaurants. So I mean, yeah, you could bring your kids to it and have them experience it, but you also have things like at the Edison that do not require kids. And speaking of, yes, Epcot is getting, and we talked about this last week with Dave, Geo 82, which is a 21 and over lounge. That
Okay.
will be attached to Spaceship Earth with
Okay.
views over Future World and the lagoon for the fireworks. But they strictly said 21 and over.
Okay, I mean that's cool. I guess in my weird mind, it's like I want an adult theme. I bet I want to be able to like be Toy Story adult theme stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe they have something like that, or maybe it's just something weird in my mind. I have no clue, man. I might be
No,
just
no, no,
saying
no. I
things.
get it.
I may be saying
I
things.
mean,
Okay, yeah.
these after hour events sometimes kind of, I mean, they are for families, but like the extra hours
Yeah.
afterwards will go to
Uh,
1 o'clock in the morning. So you won't see too many kids there then, but you will
yeah.
see a lot more adults and young adults
I
running around the park then.
I guess to me it's that I just want to be able to go on Space Mountain without the line. So like if there's an adult theme event that allows me to do that, I'll pay extra for that,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
to
they
not have to deal with the kids in that
it's not
state.
adult labeled, but they do have such things where it's is reduced capacity and you can get on stuff relatively.
Man, nah, man. We gotta kick all the kids out. Just us adults, man. Let's be big, big old kids, man. Just run around on Space Mountain and then hit it up to H2 Glow after hours and all the rides, man. No kids allowed. Just give me that time period. I want that time period to myself to run around and do that. That'd be great.
Sure, works for me.
Able to drink on it. Drink in the park.
That's why they have drinking around the world. Not that I'm condoning drinking around the world, but that's what they got.
Responsibly.
Moving on, we got the concept art for the Wish float that will be coming to the Disney Starlight Parade, which I find very interesting, considering that Wish was not considered a box office success. But they're rolling with it anyway. And I think it will fit in with a parade, nighttime parade that's called Starlight. So Starlight Parade. So we shall see what that's all about in the next coming months.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the concept designs for this too, and it looks looks really good. And I assume this is going to be a part of their main when they go down Main Street. I
Yes.
believe so. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I figured that Main Street gets kind of their whole parade gets kind of updated every so often, every couple of years, or
They haven't had one in a few years.
really.
They were supposedly promised one for the 50th anniversary in 2021, but because of the pandemic, it's one of the things that got shelved. So they've been good 5-6+ years without a parade.
Interesting, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the Main Street Electrical Parade. They boxed that up and shipped it to one of the other parks, and now, yeah, they haven't. The Magic Kingdom, the most visited place in the world, didn't have a nighttime parade. So they are finally rectifying that.
That is crazy, yeah. And
Yes.
on top of Wish, too, they also have other inspiring movies like Coco, Moana,
Kanto.
Encanto. Almost butchered that. Did butcher that. Frozen and Peter Pan and the Princess Unit, influenced by Mrs. Mary Blair's concept art, shown down here. So, no, I think it's going to be a pretty fantastic, spectacular showing for late night.
I've always liked their nighttime parade, so I am definitely looking forward to that.
Definitely.
And then over in Disneyland, we have Shadows of Memories, a Skywalker saga projection show in Galaxy's Edge, projected onto the spire, the rockwork. Is a limited time run only. Is currently running. It started on the 28th of March, and it goes to May 11th. So just after May the 4th. The stuff that I'm seeing out of it already just looks phenomenal. Just if you're a Star Wars fan, it will suck you in.
Yeah, no, I'm
Unless
actually,
if you're Dave.
and I'm seeing these images right now, and they're gonna have they're projecting a lot of Anakin, the Skywalker story onto the mountaintops too.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, where they figure ways to kind of use the environment to expand on the experience that's already on there. So to kind of have that down there is cool. Also, from what I also hear from that too, is they're finally going to introduce Luke. Luke is going to be a limited time character in the Disney park here in the Sky Edge area, right?
Yes, he is. He's there currently. Our friend Dan Zaire from Coffee with Kenobi got to meet him. So if you go over to his Instagram or YouTube channel, Coffee with Kenobi's stuff, you can see him interacting with young Luke Skywalker.
That's cool.
And also Force Ghost Conversation. Our friends there too. Can't forget about them.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we weren't there, but we know people who were, and it looks amazing.
No, cool. I like that. Totally like that. So, all right. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yes. Same here. Now, speaking down with, Marvel just had a reveal, a little announcement per se, a short announcement that lasted over 5 hours. And they released I'm going to say partial, because I know this cannot be the complete list, but a partial cast list, and announced that Avengers Doomsday, which Isaac has nicely displayed the splash screen for us, the title screen, that is now currently in production, and here's some of the people to expect. So, Isaac, would you like to give us some of these names, or any names that stood out to you that...
Yeah, so as you said, man, this was a big 5-hour event. For people out there that think that like Disney's in trouble and right now the MCU isn't where it's at, let's just remember, people, look at the numbers. 275 million digital views for a 5-hour event. This hour event to reveal names on chairs. Like, people waited for that. 3.7 million social mentions to wait for names on chairs. So if anybody's saying that MCU is in cahoots and it's not working, look at the numbers, man. People are still into the MCU. People are still excited. And I think that also helps the fact that the Russo brothers are returning to the MCU.
Oh, absolutely.
The same people that did, basically Infinity War and basically Endgame. So
and
for them to come back to it, it's a big deal.
One of my favorites, the Winter Soldier.
Yep, Winter Soldier, one of my all-time favorites, I think, throughout the this whole journey through the MCU. But like you said, in terms of some big names, 27 names are mentioned, including, of course, Robert Downey Jr. being the one being mentioned. But there are a lot of big names.
Only person also to show up in the video.
Yes, very, very true. Yeah, but as they went through to see the seats, and I'm gonna try to name these out. Everybody from Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss-Baccarat. If you don't know those names, those are going to be the actors that will be playing in the Fantastic Four movie that will be dropping in May. They'll be making their debut. But we're also going to be getting some characters back from 20th Century Fox that were in the X-Men.
That I was surprised about.
That was the big one, was Patrick Stewart coming back as Charles Xavier, who also made his debut back in the Doctor Strange, the sequel to the Doctor Strange film.
Yeah, the Multiverse of Madness.
Madness, exactly. And then Ian McKean coming back as Magneto, which was a very interesting, interesting for him to return. Also, we also got Alan coming back as a Nightcrawler, Rebecca
Yes.
Romaine as Mystique, James Madison as AKA Cyclops. They did him so dirty in those movies. Kelsey Grammer coming back as the Beast, and Channing Tatum also once again reprising his role as Gambit
Which
from
is
Wolverine and Deadpool.
very interesting because he was not part of it. Was they were planning on putting him into the X-Men movies, and
Correct.
they scrapped that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did the whole relaunch and everything, and then they pulled it in as a gag for Deadpool Wolverine,
Wolverine. Yep.
and now they're bringing him into this.
Yep. Which honestly, back in the day when you heard that Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit, I think people would have rolled their eyes and looked at him. Oh, that dancer from the Step Up
Yeah.
film. Why is he really doing it? And I get it, but now kind of seeing this now, what was it, 10, almost like 7 years in the making from what originally was released, to kind of see Channing Tatum in as the Gambit, I thought I thought he was fantastic. I wanted to see more of him, and I think MCU agreed that he's going to get another shot to kind of reprise that role again, which I think is fantastic. Also, other cast members that were announced: Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell will be playing key roles in this ensemble to feature in Joe and Anthony Russo's movie. Also, names that were also in the chairs were Chris Hainsworth, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Liliana Wright, Paul Rudd,
He had a little chair.
Yeah, he had the little chair, which was funny. Tenoch Huerta Moniana, I hope I didn't butcher that name. That's the gentleman that played Namor in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
Simu Liu, hopefully I didn't butcher that name. Louis Pullman, Danny Ramirez, David Harbord, Winston Duke, Hannah, John Keeman, and Tom Hiddleston, and of course Robert Downey Jr. to end that off. So that was the big name. Those were all 27 people that were mentioned. But I think the thing that was also very interesting were the names that were not mentioned moving forward, that were people were wondering. So what happened? Where are these other people? What they're doing? What's happening with that?
And that's why I'm saying this can't be a complete list.
Mm-hmm.
There are no Hulks in this whatsoever.
No Mark Ruffalo.
No Mark Ruffalo, Tatiana Maslany, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. You're right. Yep. No Harrison Ford was it. No Iman Vanali playing. Hell, even though who am I thinking? Tatiana Maslany was.
She's not in it.
She's not in it. So yeah, there were a couple of people missing.
There's no Captain Marvel or any of the Captain Marvels.
Marvel. Yep. None of the Marvels, which I did mention Iman Vanali mentioned in there. No Tom Holland. No Spider-Man.
No, that one I'm not surprised about. And I was talking to someone about this.
Understandable
with how No Way Home ended.
Yes.
No one knows who he is.
Yep.
So that's not a surprise. He's no longer an Avenger because no one knows of him.
Nobody knows that he was even a part of the Avengers to begin with, and it was kind of their way to kind of quietly exit the character away from the MCU in case, because who
knows what Sony's going to do.
Sony doesn't know what to do, so it was a nice way to exit it before they brought him back in. Another character I think that's interesting they didn't bring back, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's character was a little. I didn't even see Hawkeye. Mention it.
I'm a little more surprised they didn't bring in Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld, Jeremy Renner, and Haley Steinfeld to come back as
Jeremy Renner. I'm not as surprised about.
Yeah, you sure about it? Really? I thought he seemed like the kind of dude who'd be down to come back to doing something like.
I think in some ways he is. In other ways that he's I think his character's kind of run its course with the Hawkeye series.
Maybe
So,
that's true. Although I heard rumors that they were looking to do a season two, bring those characters back, but that's not
I
here
would
or
be fine
there.
with that.
And then even some interesting characters right now. Even no Matt Murdock. I thought maybe we could hear a bit of a Matt Murdock, Matthew
Mhm.
Cox, would probably, or Vincent D'Onofrio, the Kingpin. Even certain smaller characters to even make their way, unless they haven't really figured out how to introduce that yet. It's in the universe, but not really playing around with the bigger scope of things again. So wouldn't really know about that too.
Well, and
Uh,
correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so we got Mackie, but we don't have uh War Machine.
Yes, they have been doing his character, Brody. They've been doing his character pretty.
Well, he's got his own movie coming out.
Really? Uh,
Yeah.
uh, are they still? I thought they canceled that.
Well, no, it was supposed to be a series. It was
It
supposed to
was
be a Disney
supposed to be
Plus
a
series,
series.
and then they switched it to a movie.
I don't think they're moving forward with the War Machine too, because that was one of the movies I was looking forward to. That and supposed to giving Don Cheadle his opportunity to kind of shine through that. But from what I've heard, that they're not moving forward with it, only because of a lot of War Machine was kind of a part of the old plans with the whole Kang Dynasty situation that happened. That was supposed to be originally was old plans, and then when that all kind of blew up all at once, it looked like they were going to shrink a lot of the movies they originally had and just kind
Right.
of be a little bit more tighter. And I think War Machine was one of those projects that unfortunately got the axe. Which unfortunately, again, it stinks that Don Cheadle really never really had an opportunity to play with that role and kind of expand on it. And I think that could have been something they could have honestly played with War Machine, how Stark's technology is in the wrong hands. Although they, as the movies went on, they did a little bit of that story with Spider-Man, Far From Home, a little bit with Mysterio and with that situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like they kind of spread out Tony Stark's Iron Man's legacy through a lot of different films, and and I think they also introduced another group in Miss Marvel on the television series that also played a part in the war. That was supposed to play a big part in that movie as well, but they put them in the Miss Marvel film. I forgot the group agency, but they were supposed to play a big part
Shield.
of that.
No, Sword.
No,
Sword.
not even Sword. It wasn't even Sword. It was with Miss Marvel. They made their introduction in the Miss Marvel show because they were supposed to play a big part into that. And the
No.
agency made it, and actually the agency did show up in the third Spider-Man movie as well. Um,
I thought that was Sword. That was a name.
it could have been. I don't think it was AIM. I don't think it was AIM. Now it's gonna bother me now.
There we go, Dave. Isaac.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna bother me now. But that being said, with that, just to keep it time constraint. But yeah, but that was originally what's going to happen, and yeah, but there was a lot of characters that's still missing. We still don't know what's happening with the Eternals. We don't know if they're going to make an introduction again at any time soon, or the Black Knight that was shown, and even more importantly, we still don't know what's the imbalance with the Blade movie that's been hovering for such a long period of time, which people are a little concerned that maybe that has been axed, but we don't know yet about that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a couple of people that's still kind of out. But they also said that there could be many more that will be making their preview. Also, another person, surprisingly, no Deadpool making Ryan Reynolds, you would think
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
a
a
little
part about
surprised that
that
he's not going to be involved somehow.
in any maybe in
But
Secret Wars. I could
at,
see he
at
could
the
make
same
his.
time, yeah, I'm not fully convinced that this is everybody and everything.
Oh no, you're probably
So,
right. You're honestly
and
right. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if there is a lot of like keeping these people silent and having them come in or at least briefly come in and like you said, because this is a two-part movie. So Doomsday, you're gonna have like teasers of some people, and then they come in for Secret Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely
There's no Doctor Strange either.
yes. No Doctor Strange as well. No Benedict Cumberbatch or Benedict Wong who played Wong too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
one,
a lot of big characters are haven't made their presence in this though. But the fact that we're getting some of the OG X-Men making their appearance in this too is actually
I
quite
was surprised
shocking.
about that one. Yeah.
Although here's another thing I'm a little shocked. No,
Hmm.
they didn't bring back Holly Berry. You would think Holly Berry would want to appear in as Storm, kind of get
True.
her glory in though. So very interesting that certain characters were not at least approached in that set in that
No
way.
Gene either.
No Gene either. Yep. No Gene either. Yeah.
But we got Beast.
Yes, we do. We have. Yes, we do. We do have Beast back. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all accommodates and how that sets up to. It's going to be very interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I know we still have a few more movies until then. One being the Fantastic Four, which I'm intrigued about. I'm definitely intrigued. I like the casting and I like the look and the feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall go from there.
And I like the fact that they're finally playing on the multiverse, where we're outside of 616, we're in a different
Yep.
Earth, which I think they should have it experimented with a lot of those movies. I think it would have brought up the monotonous, and then it also kind of gave the freedom that not everything totally needed to be connected until
Right.
it needed to. So, so I am looking forward to that.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. And yeah, I think we definitely, like you said, it's not dead. It's not over with. There's still a lot of life, a lot of stories to tell. You just have to. Not all of them are always going to be winners.
No, 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 no. I agree on that.
So yeah, that should be all good stuff. Yeah, and as far as Armor Wars, from my understanding, it's still in the works. It's just very early stages.
That's very interesting because again, I've been following other YouTubers that have been covering that, and from how their angle, it just seems like they're not moving forward with either with Armor Wars, and then Blade being the biggest mystery right now. They just seem, because it seems like Blade has just gone through so much
Yeah.
changes between directors and writers right now.
Well, it's no longer a priority movie, but it's not like
it's not cut though, but you do concern yourself that Mahershala Ali, who's again, he's not getting any younger at the moment.
any of them.
None of them are, yeah. So I don't know what's going on. Just trying to find a script writer and stuff like that. That is certainly the big concern about that. But again, we'll see what happens. But I think I think they, from how I'm viewing it, they just want to get done with the multiverse saga so they can start afresh and then kind of move from that. I think after the situation that happened was
Very unfortunate.
The unfortunate situation was Jonathan Majors and the King situation. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we shall see.
Yep. We'll definitely should.
I watched Mufasa the other night, so
How
I
was
just
it?
want to give a quick rundown. I was actually surprised with how fleshed out the story was, how enjoyable it was. The music by Lin-Manuel Miranda was very enjoyable. Still very Broadway style, but wasn't as much Hamilton as I've recognized from like other type of shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the music is high quality music. The effects are beautiful. You
Mm.
wouldn't think that most of it was all CGI. And it's a nice tale. In um a lot of foreshadowing of things happening in this movie to connect things to the Lion King. Oh, there's this moment which harkens to that. You could kind of make some correlations, that's just good storytelling
Mm-hmm.
and to make a connective tissue. And all in all, I thought it was visually fun, story was fun, music was great. Um, it did not feel like a 2 hour, 4 minute movie.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good that we're able to find their balance on all of that too. Yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to really see Mufasa the Lion King to knowing that it was a prelude though. But I feel like movies like this are very safe that you can do.
Yeah. I
Because
wasn't
it's
expecting much out of it, to be
yeah.
honest. So I went in with low expectations, and I
Hmm.
came out pleased. So that's something to keep in mind. I would give it maybe a 7 out of 10.
Good. All right.
It's a
No.
solid movie.
Solid movie. So this is something you would recommend to families and
Yeah.
people who just love the Lion King mythos and stuff. Here's the thing. Do you think Lion King 2 is on the table by any chance? Do you think they'll ever do Simba's Pride? Because I
And
knew
as
that
live
was
action,
as a
um,
live action one.
that was the expectation here, and they went away from that.
Hmm.
There was some story elements that they did pull from Simba's Pride into this. Kiara's in this movie,
That's
but
what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah, she is in the movie, and she's kind of the MacGuffin that gets the movie going.
Yeah.
She's scared of a thunderstorm, and Rafiki tells her a story of her grandfather, and the stuff that he went through to overcome his fears and become this great king. Um, and then it ends with her meeting her brother, who, if you know her brother is, they don't name him by name in this, but it's Kaon from the Lion Guard.
Hmm.
So you brought in other elements. Scar's name is not Scar at the beginning of this movie. It is
Heroes.
no T. Is let's see, Nataka. Um, oh, why can't I find it now? Taka.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyrus is actually the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
Taka, which actually is from other previous Lion King movies. So it's not something they made up from this one. It's something that they've pulled from the Lion King's past and put into this.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. All
How
right.
he got his scar has changed from different stories, but I think it works in this.
Okay. That's good. That's good. If it works. Uh, yeah, I just pulled up the IDMB, just kind of looking at all the major actors that were in this one. Like you said, Blue Ivy Carter played Kiara. That's Beyonce Knowles'
Yeah.
daughter. Arian Pierce played Mufasa. Maz Madison played Kyros, like you said. John Contney played Rafiki. Tiffany Bonus, Sarabi. And then Donna Clough came back to reprise Simba. Billy Etcher came back for Timon. Kelvin Harrison Jr., Scar, Berlin Rankins as Mufasa. I guess the young version.
Younger
Seth
than
Rogen
possible.
came back as Pumbaa. Keith David, legendary Keith David, love him as Mesijo. New actor, actually, this is Zazu is played by Princeton Naiman
Mhm.
for this version, which makes sense, the younger version. And then Anaki Noi Rose, Afika, Lenny James, Ubasi, Atwani Newton, Ashi, Fuyaki, Ori Fuyuku. I probably butchered that name as Amara, Dominique Jennings as Serafina, Tamar Ram, and Toso Mambu as Joanna. And I'm going to leave it at there because I don't want to butcher any of these names. So,
Well, we got Daniel Glover and Beyonce also in it.
Well, yeah,
reprising their roles briefly.
Yes. Yeah, I did mention them earlier.
Oh yeah.
That. So, that being said, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's a good choice. Looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to another movie, Leo Stitch, their live action rendition that's coming big soon. I think that's going to do very well in the theaters.
I
think that's going to
unlike
be very
the
big.
Snow White movie that has come and gone.
Yep.
Lilo and Stitch looks fantastic.
Try to avoid not bringing that up, but yes,
yeah,
it's not great. But we're in a happy place right now.
Yes.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Lilo and Stitch looks fantastic. I am definitely looking forward to that one, and
Mhm.
be seeing that one in the theaters where it belongs.
No, I'm looking forward to that one too. Definitely looking forward to that one. So, and we'll definitely make sure to have our review on this on our podcast really soon for that. So that's gonna be great.
We will. Yes, we will. Anything else that you want to bring up, Sir Isaac?
No, man. I think we covered everything here that needs to be covered for this week on a podcast right now. So looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right, same here. And like I said, make sure you like and subscribe to the videos, and check us out on all the social networks at WD Magiccast. Leave you with a quote from Walt. I am not an economist, but things aren't as bad as they seem. I have a great deal of confidence in our future. That's a lot to say for the times we live in. And on that bombshell, I'll see you next time.
Take care.